Hello, hello. Welcome to the Linda Muyobo Show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're tuning in for the first time, you are most welcome. And if you're a regular viewer, you are also most welcome. So why not pick up the phone and call a friend so that they can also benefit from the show? Today we are talking business. So if you're already into business or thinking of starting a business or would like a loan to start your business, I've got a lady here with over 17 years experience in business who is going to share 5 steps to growing and for starting and growing your business. So you don't want to miss that. Pick up a phone and call somebody. You also have the opportunity to call in live as well because it's a live recording. So if you have any question at all, feel free to call Mavis. The number is at the bottom of the screen. Feel free and Mavis will be able to help you. I have in my studio today a multi-award winning entrepreneur specializing in marketing, PR, diversity and communication, winner of over 15 business and community awards. She's been in over 250 media titles. Now that says something, right? So you don't want to miss what she's going to share with us today. She's been featured in PR Magazine, Forbes, and Guardian, just to mention a few, and named as one of the most influential people in PR. And guess what? She's also going to be the first Black business entrepreneur on the Dragon's Den. So now that is something you don't want to miss. You know what? I can't wait to speak to her. So why don't we just invite her? Mavis Amankwah, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
You know what? Your accolades, I could read and go on and on and on, but I've just picked the best.
Thank you. And I'm on a mission to become the first Black woman to become a dragon. So let's see how that goes.
I'm sure it will come to fruition.
Thank you.
I'm sure with the drive that you have, trust me, it's going to come to fruition.
Great.
You know, thank you so much for coming to my show.
No problem.
Thank you. I know you're a very busy lady, but thank you for coming.
Yes, but we also got to remember that we also got to give back and we've got to support your show. And well done for what you do. It's splendid and magnificent.
Thank you so much. So today we are going to talk business. You're not talking football. You're not talking cookery. Nothing else but just business. Because you have a wealth of information. Mm-hmm. But before we actually delve into the 5 steps, I just want to find out, growing up, did you actually thought you were going to be into business?
No. Really strange. I was brought up here in the UK about 44 years ago. I'm going to be 45 this year.
You don't look it.
And thank you. And I think when I was 40, I managed to get hold of a book, or kind of like an exercise book. You know, those days we had the exercise books.
Yes.
And it was from, I think, 1982.
Okay.
And when I read it, it said that when I grow up, I want to be a hairdresser or an IT
consultant.
A consultant,
Mm-hmm.
even though I did IT. So business wasn't really mentioned,
mm-hmm.
But it said something on the lines of having an IT school or something like that, and something about doing hair and beauty. So that's, that was very interesting.
So how did you get into business?
I got into business because I was fed up of my 9-to-5 job and I had a passion to help people. And my original job was IT. I was basically getting quite good money as an IT technician. I studied IT and was fixing computers in large corporations in the city, Canary Wharf, NHS, you name it. I worked in a lot of corporate places helping people to fix their computers, hardware, software. And I just didn't find it challenging. I liked basically working with people within the community, helping them to build up. And really, I just said, pack it all in and start a business. That was around 18 years ago.
18 years ago. Wow. And that's how it started. So basically, if somebody's in a job right now and they're not getting that satisfaction, probably they have a passion that needs to be filled and they're really not feeling that working in their passion, isn't it? Would you say that?
I think to be honest, that was 18 years ago. Things have changed now. It's not that easy to kind of leave your job and start a business now.
No.
But what I will say, they've got this new word. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called a side hustle. So a lot of people are working a job and doing a side hustle.
Oh yes, we're here doing it. You know.
So I think what you need to do is start with a side hustle on a small basis and grow that and see if you can basically work on a transition to move from the career that you're doing or that you're not happy with into starting a business. But as you know, business is not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted. You've got to be able to take risk. You have to be determined. You have to persevere. You have to be ready for failure, successes, and all of it. So once you've got that drive and zeal and you're ready, then slowly you can start and grow organically.
That's right. So today you're going to share with us some of the 5 steps to starting and growing a business.
Yes.
Because I've seen a lot of business, and I know you specialize mainly in ethnic minority, helping them and supporting them. Why is that?
Okay, well, I mean, I think generally when you look in the UK market, it says that only 4 in 10 businesses will make it to year 5, and that's statistical. There's a lot of evidence and research that's been done that shows basically, regardless of your background or where you're from, after 5 years, only 4 businesses out of 10 will make it.
10, wow.
So you have a lot of people in the UK that start their business, and within 3 years, businesses fail.
And that's very true.
Yeah, it's very, very true. So you have a problem there already where, for instance, people really want to move forward, start a business, but they're just not able to sustain after year 3, and year 5 is actually a bonus. So basically, for me, I help people with building up their businesses. I mostly work with people from the community just because I'm in that community. And sometimes within our community, we don't know where to get the help.
That's very true.
You know, and so we definitely, you know, there's definitely a market to help people. Some people are already in business, but they want to grow it, they want to expand. And some people just want to start something new, and it's where to start and how to start. So really, my job is to help people to build up their business.
And besides actually even giving us those tips, you're actually a business mentor as well.
Yes, yes. So I've been doing business for many years, and my business basically helps people with growing their business. So business support, funding, marketing, finance, and I am a mentor and a coach. I think for me, I got into the mentoring and the coaching because being in business myself and having that real life experience was something that I basically could bring to the table. So I coach about 25 people a month on how to build and grow.
Wow. And I suppose when you started 18 years ago, there wasn't any business mentor. Would you say there was?
There was. Do you know what? 18 years ago, I'll be honest with you, there was a lot more support. We had things like Business Link. We had a lot of government-funded programs that would help us to build a business, to help to do the business plan, to access the finance.
So what's happened with all those?
For free. It's all gone now.
Oh no!
So there's no more really funded stuff. And we were many years ago. We were in a situation where a lot of things were free. So we had to basically digress and say, well, look, now you have to pay for everything. You pay for a business plan. You pay for a coach. You pay for mentoring. So it has changed, but at the end of the day, it's changed for the better.
And absolutely, I think something that you pay for, you actually value it.
Of course.
If you get everything for free, of course, I know there are some freebies that people can get, but I think if you pay for something, you actually value it more.
Yeah, correct.
So now let's go to the 5 steps.
Yeah. So going back to the statistics, as I said, the statistics are quite worrying because, as I said, a lot of people start. So really, where I come in is basically helping businesses, and I see a lot of businesses. I speak to people all the time. People call, people come into my surgery. I do a business surgery, and there's so many things that come out from them. And the main 5 things that I believe that people need to work on, whether their business is established or they're starting, the first thing one needs is a business plan, Linda.
A business plan.
So many people I speak to, whether established or not, if they don't need any funding, they don't have a business plan.
And maybe some people don't even know what a business plan is.
A business plan. Well, a business plan, for those that don't know what a business plan is.
You'll be surprised, maybe.
A business plan is a roadmap. So it's a roadmap that basically maps out where you are in business, where you want to go in business, how do you get there. So, you know, me coming here today, I had to use my sat-nav to get here.
Yes.
And the same thing applies in business. So the business plan is very crucial. When you are putting a business together, it's always good to write it down on paper so you can look at it from from all different perspectives. You can get a professional to look at it. You can also look at the figures, because one thing that we do is that most entrepreneurs and small businesses, they start with passion. So they start really with passion. Okay, yeah, I'm really passionate about this, but they haven't really thought about, is it going to be commercially viable?
Yes.
Is it a business? Is it a charity? So the business plan helps to identify that, and it looks at things like, is the market in growth or decline? Is it a good market to be in? What is your experience? You know, what do you know about the market? What can you do? Are there any regulations? You know, things that you need to follow, because there are some standard businesses that you have to set up with some form of accreditation or regulation and so forth. So the business plan helps to identify that and form and shape, you know, a plan of how you're going to start this business and how you're going to grow the business. So number 1 is the business plan.
And how often should someone review their business plan?
Okay, now with business plans, I think if you're first starting out, within the next 1 year to 6 months, you should have a look and see, okay, this is the business plan. This is where I was then. Have I managed to achieve that? If I have, great. If I haven't, why haven't I? So I would say every 6 months to 1 year, but that doesn't normally happen. People don't really look at a business plan again to another 3 to 5 years, and that's a big mistake. So we need to kind of use it as our kind of working Bible, if you like, in terms of you keep referring to it and dipping in and out of it, and just making sure that you're doing the right thing. So that's definitely number one.
So that's number one, the business plan here. So you've got to get your business plan in place and get it checked by a professional. Number two?
Number two, one I also hear every day is the money.
The money.
The money to start, the money to grow, the money to keep going. And as we know, statistics, again, why many businesses fail is mainly because of cash flow. They don't have the cash flow, they don't have the funds to do their marketing, to expand. So the funding is more about looking at where you are. So if you're starting a business, what finance do you have to start? If you don't have any finance, can you get some lending from the bank, from a family, from a friend, from an alternative lender? There are so many ways to get money now in terms of starting a business, but it has to be viable. It has to be viable. Some people may have a house or property. Maybe they could bring that as a asset, depending on what type of business. Maybe you can start off with very minimal. Some people you can start a business on a shoestring, depending on the industry or sector. But you need to have that finance in place, and you need to make sure you have enough money, because cash is always an issue when you're running a business.
It is.
If you don't get, I know a lot of people, they work within different governments, they get contracts from the government, but sometimes it takes a longer time to get paid, because obviously there's a process, there's a structure, there's a system. So you may be expecting to be paid in 30 days, but it might take you longer.
Longer than that, yeah.
Some clients or contracts that you have. So the finance is definitely one. Maybe it's a loan that you need, a low interest loan. Maybe you need an investor. Many people say to me, look, I want to get an investor, but they don't actually want to bring in any of their own money. Now, if you want to get an investor and you go to invest and say, I don't have anything to show, this business doesn't have any legs, we've got no evidence, no one's going to invest in it.
No, they're not. They're not.
So you have to build up the business, build up a profile, get the business to a place that is a business that someone would look at, that's viable, and said, yes, I'm really interested. So the finance is a big one. After the business plan, it's how much do you need? A lot of us are not realistic with our figures. We also kind of don't have the right figures in knowing what we want with business. So we need to make sure.
I think somebody's calling in. We have a live call in.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, who is on the line?
Arinola.
Hi, Arinola. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for calling in. How can we help?
How can you help?
Yes.
I have to confess that I haven't got the TV screen in front of me, and I'm walking through a shopping mall.
Okay.
But it was exciting to hear that Mavis is going to be on the show.
Yes, she is.
Hi.
Oh, wow. Hi, Mavis.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And yourself? Yes.
And Mavis, you're amazing. I think you're one of the most inspiring women that I know, with all the 18 years of business, kids that are doing extremely well, your partnerships with NatWest. I'm always watching.
Thank you so much.
Your business support and business development resources and everything. I think you've got it all. I'm just thinking of what question to ask you.
You are just so excited. You forgot about the question, isn't it?
I'm so excited. Yeah, something like that. Okay, basically, I've developed this board game, and I want to make it a worldwide phenomenon that children are learning about financial skills.
Yes.
In every language, not just in the UK or in America. And it would be good to get your expertise on ideas on how I can expand this concept. We're a social enterprise, so we're not profit making, but it'd be good to have a little bit of money to keep running, free workshops. So I would like to hear from you. What are the things, maybe 1, 2, 3 things I need to bear in mind, and where should I go to try to get the partnerships to make this happen?
Okay, well, if it's a social enterprise, I would say the first thing that you probably need to do is put together a fundraising strategy. You may have one already, you may not, but a fundraising strategy that will help you to raise different funding, so private funding from individuals that believe in what you're doing and your concept. So you need to really market yourself and let people understand and evidently show how good your board game is and how it works and so forth. And then basically look at getting some private fundraising from private, people, individuals who are willing to support your cause. That is definitely one, and you have to do lots of events and lots of marketing seminars, coffee mornings, coffee mornings, events for children, let the children come for free, and then basically, get their parents to come and say, look, invest in this in your child. So you need to do lots of marketing, but fundraising is definitely the one if you're a social enterprise. And if people know what your cause is, and that cause is touching to them, you can easily get funding and fundraising. And it could be, you know, a very small amount, every penny counts. So that's the next thing that's the first thing you need to do. You can also look at other platforms, so funding from the government, local authority. Have you looked within that area?
Yes, I think so, but I thought there's always the benefit of getting more and more information in that area, because I see that there are things that I'm not even aware of. I mean, there's Innovate UK. I've only just been connected with them, and there's a vast amount of resources that they have, which I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, there's a lot of funding available for not-for-profit social enterprise, especially to do with young people, millennials, Generation X. There's a lot of projects that are out there. So it's just basically looking at what's available online, and then also getting in touch with your local authority. They normally have a list of different funders that will support what you're doing, and they'll be able to provide you with that list. And then what you need to do is put a proposal together and start going for tendering, and you know, go for funding, fill in some grant and bidding applications. There is a lot to do with funding, to do with education. It's just knowing where to go, but there are lots of opportunities.
Maybe it's just because of time. Arinola, what we'll do is we'll take your number and then you can continue the chat offline.
Yes.
Is that okay?
I'm going to continue to chat online.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Love your testimony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make sure you come to business surgery.
So maybe it's just because of time. I didn't want my viewers to miss. So we were on number 2. We talked about business plan and income.
Number 2 was the finance. So number 3 is about the marketing.
Marketing, okay.
Which we were just speaking to this lady about.
Oh, another call-in.
Wow, it's busy today.
I think you'll have to come back.
Oh, I definitely will.
Hello, who's on the line? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi, who's on the line?
Yeah, my name is Sephora.
Hi, Sephora. How can we help?
Can I ask a question live on the Linda Muyobo show?
Sure. Yes, you can. You're live.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, we can hear you. Go on. We can hear you.
Okay, sure. So I wanted to know if you're interested in getting coaching. How do I best go around finding a business mentor?
Finding a business mentor.
Okay, hi. So, hi, Sophie. So, just to say that if you're trying to get a business mentor,
yes, we can hear you.
With me, my details are Mavis at richvisions.co.uk. You can get in touch with me, or you can go on to the general website and type in business mentor or coach, and there will be a list of different coaches and mentors that can help you to build and grow your business.
Was that helpful?
Oh, yes, that was very, very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, then. Take it.
Maybe you've got to come.
So, where are we? It was on number
3, yes.
Okay. So, number 3 was about marketing.
Marketing, yes.
So, how do you market to the right people? Too many people do marketing, but they're marketing to the wrong people or using the wrong tactics. So, you need to basically identify as a customer, your potential customer, find out from your customer, what is the best way of marketing to you? How can I market to you? When should I market to you? How do you want to be marketed to? Because a lot of us do a lot of guesswork, and with marketing, you can spend a lot of money on marketing and nothing may happen. And you need to have a lot of investment for marketing as well, especially if you've got a brand, you know, service. For most things, the marketing needs to be A1. It needs to be.
And what's the minimum for marketing budget-wise?
It depends. It really depends. I always say to people, if you're turning over a certain amount every month, you need to put at least 10% of that towards your marketing.
Okay.
Because the marketing is what's going to keep you going, keep you flowing, and bring sustainability to your business. So you need to make sure that your marketing is 100% and it's continuous. A lot of people do marketing at the beginning and then they stop. Marketing is something that you have to keep doing consistently all the time.
And number 4?
Number 4 is about what our last caller called about. Getting yourself a mentor. A mentor or a coach, somebody that can help you to get to where you need to get to with your business, because when you're running your own business, it's very lonely.
It is sometimes.
It can be quite daunting.
Yes.
It can be hard, especially if you've got to make some decisions, depending on what those decisions will be. And sometimes you want someone else to, you know, help you to make your decision. Was that another call?
Hello, we've got another call on the line.
Hello.
Hello, how can we help? Who is on the line, please?
My name is Leslie Lumumba.
Hi, Leslie. How are you?
Good, thank you. How's it going there?
Oh, it's going well. How can we help?
Perfect. So I just had a quick question for myself. We were actually starting up an organisation. It's called The Build, and really just wanted to kind of see if there's any advice into what that organisation should look like. So should it be a social enterprise? Should it be business? Like, what sort of thought processes should be put in place to ensure that it should be this or it should be that, if that makes sense?
Okay. Hi, Leslie. So there are pros and cons of starting a business, it being a social enterprise, a charity, or a commercial limited business. So the first thing you need to identify is, what are you trying to put together and why? So are you putting something together as a social enterprise because you're passionate and want to make a difference, or are you putting a commercial limited business together because you want to basically make a profit? So those are the first things. And then the second thing would be to also find out, are you going to be doing this by yourself? Are you going to be doing it with a team? And what you need to do is you need to look at the pros and cons of starting up as either a sole trader, a limited by guarantee, a charity, or a limited company, commercially viable limited company. Now, for me to give you more information, we don't have much time, just because I need to understand your structure, your industry, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve. But look at all of those 4 areas and, look at the pros and the cons. But before you do that, ask yourself, why are you doing this? Why do you want to do it? And then you can decide which is the best structure as well. I always tell people to go limited. It's one of the best ways. But when you're first starting out, a lot of people are solopreneurs, so they could start off as a sole trader officially and then change later on to a limited. But again, without knowing your sector and your industry properly, it's hard for me to say which one. But there's so many different factors that will give you the answer as to why you should go for this structure or another structure.
Yeah, definitely. No, thank you for that. And just one last thing, I think you've mentioned it as well. Just in regards to that changes along the period of time, along your journey, right? For many people, does it?
Does what,
so
sorry?
You start off as one, and maybe along the journey it may change.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I've always had a business starting off with staff from the beginning. But again, depending on what your business and what you do, maybe you want to have this is all what needs to be in the business plan. So you might say, for the first 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, I'm going to be doing it by myself, and then I'm going to expand. It's been able to have a plan that's basically feasible and smart. A lot of sole traders and entrepreneurs, they get mixed up in the everyday firefighting, trying to do everything themselves, social media, fixing computers, running a business, speaking to customers, and they get really run down. And sometimes it's about delegation, so having some form of plan that where you can bring in, delegate staff later on. So it's about planning and understanding where you are and having a vision and a mission, and then looking at how that can be done.
Amazing. Oh, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Leslie. Do email Mavis if you want some more information. Please, her details are at the bottom of the screen, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Mavis.
So where are we? How long do we have?
We literally have 4 minutes.
4 minutes. What number
So
are we
I think
on?
we're on. Let's go to number 5.
Okay, so number 4 was about mentoring.
Yes, mentoring.
Yeah, so make sure you get yourself a mentor, a coach, someone that can help you to build your business, understand where you're trying to go and what you're trying to achieve. And then number 5, which I'm probably known for, is the PR.
PR, oh yes.
Get yourself promoted wherever you can. Take every opportunity. I've made my business grow through word of mouth, through PR, through promotion, social media, and speaking engagements. That's why I'm still here after 18 years. Obviously, there's some other factors, but PR is one that you need to basically, work on. Get yourself in all the different medias, become an expert within your field, look at speaking engagements, look at newspapers, radio, TV, places where you can really promote yourself to a wider audience and to your own target audience. So you need to make sure it's the right target audience. There's no point of, trying to target men and motors in a women's only, magazine, for instance. So it's making sure that you get your PR and you get your PR right. And the great things, we have social media as well. And that's also has its own kind of PR platform. So how do you get yourself out in the social media and to be well recognized within social media and that go-to expert? Because there's a lot of competition within
there's a lot. Yes, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, so that's definitely it.
Or maybe it's you know what? We need you. Please, I want you to come back.
I'm back. I'm back in 2 weeks. Right?
You're back in 2 weeks, but we're going to be talking about something else.
Okay, so you want me to come back for business? I'm more than happy
I
to.
would love you to come back for business because, as you can see, we had a hotline today,
Yeah,
I would love you to come back because a lot of times people start business, but they do not actually know what to do.
Correct. Correct.
or how to go about it. So they really need support.
Yes.
And you know what? I couldn't bring any other person but you because you're the
thank
best
you
in
for
what you
having
do.
me. Well, I've got some freebies. I've got
Yes.
a couple of business health checks to give away. So when you're ready, we can give those away.
Please do.
Okay.
Just look straight in the camera and give your freebies away.
So if you're interested in growing your business, maybe your business has just started, you're a little bit stuck, you don't know how to move forward, or maybe you're an established business where your business is not expanding, you're at a crossroads. I've got 3 business health checks to give away, which are worth £250 each.
Yep.
The business health check looks at where you are now, where you want to get to, and how you're going to get there. A bit like a doctor, it's a health check, so it gives you some, diagnostics and medication and a solution to what you need to do. So if you want to have a business health check, please get in contact with me. My details are on the screen. I'll give that to the first 3 people that will send me an email and tell me why they need a business health check, and then we'll be in contact with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? I know we could spend hours talking about this, but we haven't got enough time today. But thank you so much, Mavis, for coming and for sharing the 5 steps for starting and growing a business. So if you would like some more information, please do email Mavis, and she will be able to share you. And as you know, on my show, we always have freebies, which Mavis has already shared. So if you're the first 3 to email through, you will definitely have a business health check done. And that is worth £250. On that note, next week, I have my guest who is going to come and talk about finance, the importance of having a health insurance, the importance of having a will, and all that kind of stuff. So if you haven't yet got one and you are a parent, especially if you are a parent, you need to have life insurance, health insurance, all those insurance that you need to sustain you and also help you should anything happen to you so your family do not suffer. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, I love you and God bless you all. Next week will be another even better week. And remember, Mavis is going to come back on the 8th. We'll be talking for International Women's Day. She's going to come back on the 8th and we'll have a panel on that day. But until then, Mavis, final word you want to say to guests?
Say, don't give up on your business dreams.
Do not give up. Yes, the road is hard. It's challenging. But if you have the right mentor and the right people around you, you can do what?
You can live your dreams.
That's it. You can live your dreams. So the right mentorship is what is needed and the right guidance. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Linda Muyobo here. Bye-bye and God bless.